The capital of Spain is a city with more than 3 million people. It is close to the geographic center of the country and 660 meters above sea level. This is why Madrid has cold winters and hot summers, so the best times to visit are in the spring and fall. Madrid is a great place to go on vacation because you can get lost in the streets of its liveliest neighborhoods, visit museums, shop in the city center, or just relax while walking through some of its green spaces. It's also a great place to try some of Spain's best food, either in one of its markets or by doing a tapas tour. Plaza Mayor is our favorite and one of the most beautiful places to see in Madrid. It's surrounded by important places like the Arco de Caballeros and the statue of Philip III, which was a gift from the Duke of Florence. After you've seen everything, have a drink on one of its terraces, watch tourists go by, and eat a traditional calamari sandwich. One of the best things to do in Madrid is to have a hot chocolate at the historic San Ginés Chocolateria and then go to Puerta del Sol. There are a lot of interesting things in this square, like the statue of the bear and the Madronillo, which is a symbol of Madrid, the famous sign of Tío Pepe, and the statue of Charles III on horseback, which is right in the middle of the place. In the Plaza de la Armería is the entrance to the Royal Palace, which was the official home of the Spanish kings until they moved to the Zarzuela Palace. This huge palace, the biggest in Western Europe, is also one of the best places to visit in Madrid. You should go to the Plaza de Oriente and, most of all, the Sabatini Gardens before or after you enter the palace complex. The Almudena Cathedral, which is thought to be the most important religious building in Madrid, is built on the ruins of an old mosque and the first cathedral outside of Rome to be consecrated by Pope John Paul II in 1993. This temple to the Virgin Mary is known for its huge dome. Inside, the stained glass windows create a magical atmosphere. Before you leave the cathedral, go up to the dome. Between the Retiro and the Neptune Fountain is the Prado, which is one of the world's most important museums and another must-see in Madrid. The Prado Museum has thousands of interesting works, but some of the best ones are the Three Graces by Rubens, The Knight with the Hand on the Chest by El Greco, The Naked Moja and Goya's May 3rd in Madrid, El Bosco's Garden of Earthly Delights, and Velázquez's masterpiece, Las Meninas. Reina Sofía Museum is one of the best museums in Spain and also one of the most interesting places to visit in Madrid. More than 4 million people visit this museum every year. It has great works by Dalí, Miro, and many other artists, but its crown jewel is Picasso's Guernica, which is one of the greatest paintings ever made. The Mercado de San Miguel is one of the most famous markets in Madrid. It is right in the middle of the city and is a place where people who like good food meet. This covered market is known for its beautiful iron architecture and more than 30 stalls where you can try high-quality traditional Spanish foods and products like Iberian ham, seafood from Galicia, and Manchego cheeses. Even though you can go out to eat at noon, most people go out for tapas at night when there's more going on. Even though the Plaza de España is not the most beautiful part of the city, it's worth to see the Torre de Madrid and the Estoril Mining Company buildings. Don't forget the Edificio España, where you can take the elevator to the roof and have a drink while looking out over all of Madrid in a 360-degree panorama. La Latina neighborhood is one of our favorite places to go in Madrid, whether it's for dinner or a last drink. This old neighborhood has a lot of traditional taverns, bars, and restaurants like Casa Lucio with its famous broken eggs that have a good vibe when the sun goes down. This is especially true around the beautiful Cava Baja Street. This neighborhood is worth seeing both at night and during the day, so don't miss it. The beautiful Plaza de la Via is a highlight of the Madrid de las Austrias area. This square is one of the few places in the city that still looks like it did in the Middle Ages. It has buildings like the Casa y Torre de Lujanés and the Casa de la Villa, which used to be the town hall and now holds the Mar Blanca, an important symbol of the city. The Plaza de Santa Cruz, San Ginés, and the Calle del Espejo, which is the narrowest street in the city, are also interesting places in this area. Another important thing to do in Madrid is to go to the Plaza de Cibeles, which is home to the beautiful Fuente de las Cibeles. There are some buildings to look at, such as the Palacio de Buenavista, the Palacio de Linares, the Bank of Spain, and the impressive Palacio de Cibeles, which is the town hall and has a great view of the Retiro Park and the skyscrapers of the financial district. Just a few meters from Plaza de Cibeles, if you walk up Calle Alcalá, you will reach Puerta de Alcalá. It is the most well-known of the 5 old royal gates that used to let people into the city, and it is also one of the most famous. This neoclassical door is in the shape of a triumphal arch and looks out over the Plaza de la Independencia. One of the coolest things to do in Madrid is to take a nice walk through the famous Retiro Park to get away from the noise and stress of the city. This historic park has everything from a huge man-made pond with the monument to Alfonso XII on one side and a place to rent a small boat for a ride to the beautiful Palacio de Cristal. We always go there when we're in the capital, whether it's to walk along its tree-lined paths, run, listen to a street musician, or just sit on a bench to get some fresh air or read a book. If you want to visit it with fewer people, you should avoid going on Sundays. The Thyssen-Bornemisza Collection Foundation is a public foundation that was created in 1988. It is responsible for the management of the museum, the conservation of its works, carrying out research, organizing public exhibitions, and promoting the artworks that were acquired by the Spanish state in 1993. Since the museum opened its doors to the public in 1992, it has offered an increasingly varied number of temporary exhibitions, educational events, and cultural and commercial activities. The Archaeological Museum in Madrid was started by Queen Elizabeth II in 1867. The museum's collection is mostly made up of things found during excavations in Spain, but it also has important pieces from Egypt, ancient Greece, and the Etruscan civilization. Highlights of the earliest finds include an exhibit on the ancient civilization of El Arger in Andalusia and a show of jewelry found at the Roman settlement of Numancia near Soria. The Temple of Debod is an ancient Egyptian temple that is more than 2,200 years old. It was given to Spain as a thank you for helping save Abu Simbel from being flooded by the Aswan High Dam. The Temple of Debod has become a beautiful place to enjoy peace and quiet, especially in the late afternoon when you can watch a beautiful sunset over Madrid. Lavapiés is one of the oldest neighborhoods in the city, and it was once the center of Madrid's Jewish community. Visits to the Nelson Mandela Square, the Pious Schools, the Valle-Inclán Theater, or the Tabacalera will teach you about the city's history. People in these streets breathe multiculturalism. Malasaña is an alternative and slightly creepy neighborhood that you will love for its vintage shops, markets, bookstores, independent theaters, designer bars, young people, and busy nightlife. The Plaza del 2 de Mayo is the nerve center of the neighborhood and a reference point for the movida madrileña of the 1980s. La Luna and San Ildefonso are also nice squares to walk through or have a drink on their terraces. San Ildefonso has a beautiful market where you can buy tapas. During the Spanish Golden Age, great writers like Cervantes, Quevedo, and Lope de Vega lived in the barrio de Las Letras, which is another important spot in Madrid. The Plaza de Santa Ana is the heart of the neighborhood. From there, you can get lost in its pedestrian streets and stop at its most traditional taverns like Los Gatos, Casa Alberto, or the Galician Maceras for a tapa and a beer or wine. The Gran Via is the most well-known street in Madrid, and everyone who is visiting the city for the first time should take a walk down it. It was built at the start of the 20th century, around the same time that big buildings like the Gracie, Telefonica, and the Metropolis building, which is one of our favorites in the city, were built. To fans. In the 21st century, the city of Madrid is a hybrid of a town and a metropolis. Urban designs that are on the cutting edge of technology have made the nation's capital, which is known as the City of Neighborhoods, into an innovative metropolis. Madrid is a bustling city that brims with life and activity. Its variety is able to alter the rhythm of its inhabitants and the fascination among visitors who will discover a future projection in this ever-evolving metropolis.